Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Samantha and I'm a hypnotist and mindset coach. And today we're going to be talking about the magic of remembrance, remembering who you are as a spiritual being and the remembrance of God that is alive within you. And most importantly, how living a life where you can remember these truths will ultimately lead you to an abundant life that is truly authentic to you. A life that will surpass whatever it is that you think that you want, that will surpass everything that has the power to come and go from your life and bring you true happiness and fulfillment. So once you have this, all that is meant for you and true for you will just come directly to you. You won't even have to do anything. You won't have to look for it. It will find you. So when I first started this channel, I started to talk a lot about manifestation and mindset work, which is so beneficial to creating change within you and changing your life. But after 6 years of doing this work and really trying to master manifestation and mindset, I feel like I've gone beyond trying to recreate the manifestation process with all of these techniques and even trying to get things. And instead, I have found wholeness, peace, and love within myself that for the first time in my life, I feel like I don't need or feel desperate for anything outside of myself. I don't really care if things happen for me or not. And that has been invaluable. It has been everything to me. It has given me a security like no other. And it has stopped the suffering, because I think the reason why so many of us suffer is because we just separate ourselves so much from the things that we want. And that's not to say that I don't ever fall into need or wanting, but I know exactly how to fill myself up again. And this does a very powerful thing. It draws my desires to me naturally because there is no gap. There is no awareness of a gap. Therefore, there's nothing in my way, not even myself. So I intend for my videos to reach those who realize that what they want is not always what they need, or perhaps not what they are truly after. If you've manifested before but still always feel like you need to mimic the process and just want to start living your life in a way where manifestations of the good becomes an easy and natural process for you that feels perfect, that feels better than what you imagine, that feels perfectly designed for you, then this video is for you. Sometimes I used to wish that I never came across manifestation, because I realized when I was younger how easy I would manifest things. And that was because I was more aligned with my true self. And so if you feel like nothing is ever enough and you're still searching and every time you manifest it's not good enough for you, that's because what you're really after is something greater, and that is God. The first wound that we experience when we come to this planet is the perceived separation of us and God. We come here to forget and then spend all of our lives trying to remember. I spent years trying to remember and I didn't even realize it. The closest thing we can experience of God is love, which is why I was so addicted to experiencing the highs of love. And it was never truly enough. Nothing was ever enough for me until I found God. So if you feel like nothing is ever enough for you and like, why can't I be grateful for what I have? Or why can't I find the one that will give me the love that I need, or the freedom that I need, or the stability that I need? Even if you are actively trying to love yourself and that love feels like not enough, you are looking in the wrong places. Only God, Source, the divine, can give you what you need. When you get it from God, which I'm going to cover how in this video, you stop seeking it in the outside world and instead it comes to you. You don't even want it anymore. You have enough. You have an overflow. God is what made me love myself, because how could I not love something that God created? God is what made me whole again when I thought that I was broken, and that healed my mind and my body. God led me on a path of being true to who I am because I want to honor who God created me to be. We're all manifestations and expressions of God's source, the divine itself, meaning we feel separated from God when we aren't being true to ourselves. I think people have this misconception that by changing your mindset and just shifting your energy, you are becoming this new and improved version of you, which is true, but what you are essentially doing is eliminating, getting rid of everything you're not to come back into alignment and the truth with all that you are and always have been. In other words, who you came here to be. And so the magic of remembrance is a process that I kind of came up with for myself because I realized how much I needed to remind myself of who I am, of who God is, because remembrance is what for me just instantly diminishes all of the doubts, all of the fears and limitations. And that doesn't mean that they don't come back, but the more that I remember my essence, the less and less they come back. This remembrance for me goes beyond feeling or believing in myself or in the notion that everything will work itself out. It's a profound knowing. It's an unspoken communication between myself and the divine that just turns on like a light switch, like, oh yeah, I know this is right for me, or I know this is what I have to do, or I know who I am. I am one with all that is. It makes truths like I am worthy, I am loved, I am whole, just easily acceptable. And so how do I practice the magic of remembrance? I do this in 3 ways. 1, I connect with my heart and I meet God at a higher frequency. I meditate with gratitude, with love, with wholeness, because that's where I was able to meet God. The reason a lot of people don't believe in God is because they haven't actually felt God enough. Maybe here and there, but I actively make an effort to meet God by tuning into these higher frequencies. It's where we can communicate in that same unspoken language and where the messages just are so clear. It's where my healings happen and my energy is cleansed and renewed. It's literally by connecting to the light and love. And by doing this, I have let go of alcohol. I don't crave as much sugar and carbs like I used to, and I'm instead drawn to more things that just light up my life. Honestly, that's not something I really tried to do. It just started happening as I began raising my frequency in meditation. I've been able to access these states also through speaking loving words of affirmation as well, and even through journaling. It's truly a game of just raising your frequency by learning how to access high emotional states, in other words, high energetic states, because emotions are energy and motion. I think a lot of us hate the fact that we have feelings and emotions because they can be the gateway into darkness, but they can also be the gateway into heaven. So by changing your perception, by practicing love and gratitude, you move up in frequency and in consciousness. You can also do this by doing things that bring you joy. But beyond that, I really feel like if you just accept that what you're truly after is happiness and fulfillment, by shifting your perspective of the now and starting to look at your current reality through the eyes of love and gratitude, you can meet God right now. You can meet God anywhere. You can meet yourself anywhere with a shift in perception that just raises your frequency. The most powerful thing you can do is start with what you have right now. Because if you can be grateful for the now, imagine how much more grateful you will be when all that is aligned with you just starts pouring in. The first is connecting to your heart and raising your frequency, and the second is a little bit harder, but easier once you start practicing my first suggestion, is to start showing up unapologetically as yourself. It is by being true to yourself, even if it costs you your current life. And all it takes is one decision, one action step towards living more authentically to you. It takes a no or it takes a yes. No to the things that do not serve you and feel aligned with you, and yes to the things that do. In that process, you really start to get to know yourself and you really start to remember who you are. A good practice is to get a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, and on the left, write who you think you should be, and on the right, write who you truly are. On the other side, write how you think you should live your life, draw a line down the middle, and how you truly desire to live your life. You will start to differentiate who your true self is versus your egoic self. Start showing up in ways that align with who you truly are. Number 3 is one of my favorites, and that's through connecting to either my higher self or my inner child. The higher self can be seen as a version of you that lives in pure love and joy. Your inner child can be seen as a version of you that doesn't think or act based on programming, but who just is, who dreams and acts from their intuition, the part of you that is close to their essence. I love to connect my clients in hypnosis to their higher selves, their future selves, their inner children, because it widens their perspective and it helps them realize the answers they seek are just always within. It truly puts into perspective what is most important to them in life, what they value, and the way of happiness is really so simple. It really closes the gap for them, which is why I do what I do. All of my work is based on the mission of helping people to remember. When I look beyond the tools and practices, that is a general practice that keeps me connected to God and the light and to myself, right? And so that's it for today's video. I wanted to share a practice that is close to my heart. I call it the magic of remembrance. So you can call it that too if you want. But it's basically just connecting with God every day and connecting to your true authentic self. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys very soon.